Jellies and jellyfish from all sizes, welcome back to A.S.K's videos. If you're new here, I do cartoon reviews, and if you enjoy that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. Today I'm starting a new show on my channel named Super Discussions, which is a cartoon discussion show that is a sister show of my main show, Super Reviews. I will make them similar to Pie Guy's audio essays, but will not copy or make them even remotely like his videos, and I will talk about topics I think are worth the time. I will talk about my opinions in a podcast-like video with little editing and something visually interesting to look at if you want to treat it like a vlog or visual content in general. Since the most important part is the sound, if you don't understand what I'm saying at some points, turn on the captions for English subtitles. So, for the first episode, we're better to start from the fundamentals. More specifically, the fundamentals of storytelling. Well, we have to start with the real basics. As we know, a story needs a storyline. A commonly used one is one with the exposition, the gradual increase in excitement, the climax of the story, which is the highest peak in the story, most commonly the solution to the problem, the gradual decrease in the story, and the resolution/ending of the story. If you follow this, you will have a well-structured plot. You would also need a problem and a solution in the story. There can be many problems and solutions in a story, which makes a difference between an episode and a movie. Another fundamental that is important in a story is, of course, the characters and setting. A story can have no characters, for example, a story about a city or an object, but most stories like that include background characters. For example, a story about New York City and how it's very beautiful and urban and bright will, of course, include the people living in the city, which make it beautiful and urban and bright. And making the characters personalized as characters also makes the story more memorable and interesting. The character personalities can make many plots of episodes, and the characters can bounce off each other and create the dialogue and a more interesting plot all around. This is why a show like Problem Solvers is not interesting and really bland. The characters don't have personalities, which takes away from the enjoyability. Compared to a show like SpongeBob, yeah. Other fundamentals could be a little more specific according to the genre and plot of the story. For example, the dialogue. Shows or movies like classic Charlie Chaplin movies cannot include dialogue. In fact, Charlie Chaplin movies do include dialogue, but just not the come out of your mouth kind. But anyway, dialogue in shows that really include it can really make a difference. Clever dialogue can make a story much more memorable and fun to listen to, and it makes the characters much more professional and fun to watch, especially in genres like action movies. For example, a reason a SpongeBob episode like Bang Geeks gets so much praise, other than the obvious reasons, is a hilarious line by Patrick, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" That line was so well written and funny, it became a worldwide thing and later became a really famous meme, compared to what comes to my head when you say bad dialogue in Home Alone 2 when Buzz says trout sniffer to Kevin as an insult. Other than dialogue, maintaining your genre in mind can really make a difference when writing a story. For example, a comedy show without the awkwardness and the jumpy dialogue is not a comedy show. A romance without the romantic touch and emotion is not a romance. An action show without the suspense and the cool visuals and fight scenes with the right amount of character development and story arcs is not an action show. When writing, maintaining the end product and what you want people to take from it is the simplest yet most important fundamental when story writing. When you stay true to your passion and your goal, you will succeed. If you're writing a blog, stay relevant, stick to the goal at hand. Okay, those were my thoughts on the fundamentals of story writing. I hope it helps some of you, not only to write per se, but to understand just for life. I don't think I'm a genius or whatever, but just emptied my thoughts and hope someone might listen, so I hope you did. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below any fundamentals you think are important, and if you have any future topics you'd like me to hit on, in Super Discussions or any other, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Any good ones definitely get a heart from me. Check out my website and second channel in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.